So welcome back to Astrophotography Quest. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through a full walkthrough of PixInsight of my workflow. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing you may notice here, if we zoom in on Andromeda, or M31, you can clearly see the dust lanes are already starting to come out on the spiral arms. But, we still need to stretch it. So, of course we do, because that's basically how you do it. If you ever used Photoshop before, it's similar as the levels tool, but histogram transformation is actually a little different. It's basically the same thing, but you have to select the view first in order to see the histogram. So now what we're gonna do, in order to live preview it, you have to use this little circle here so we can live preview what we're actually doing. So there's a little tip feature there. But actually, in order to stretch it, I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use this histogram data here. So we're going to start stretching it, and I'm going to take the black point down because it really needs taken down. Because look at all this light pollution in the background. We're going to click apply. As you can see now, it has this weird haze, but it is much darker. We can reset this. In order to reset it, there's this little button down here. You click reset, and now you can do this all over again, just like in Photoshop levels. So we'll bring this up and click apply. Takes a second sometimes. Sorry about that. Just takes a second. Okay. So if we zoom in now, we can actually start to see more of the outer dust lanes and stuff. We can actually see more of the cloudiness around Andromeda. So what we're going to do now is reset this again. And I'm going to take the black point just a little bit more and just the white point up a little, or the mid-tone slide of the white points over here. So we're going to click apply. There we go. So I think that's good for the first stretch. We're going to come back to that later though. So now what we can do is I can do a background removal because look how weird this looks. Actually, first, before we do background removal, we're going to do some color calibration. So color calibration. I'm going to just click apply because there's really nothing I need to do. It just automatically does it, which is pretty cool. PixInsight's a lot more automatic than Photoshop compared to Photoshop. So PixInsight is very much automatic, whereas Photoshop you have to actually edit yourself. So like everything's manual. I mean, there's a little bit of manuality to PixInsight, but yeah. All right, so here is our color calibration. Did an okay job, I would say. So now we can click process, all processes, and we are going to go down to, or actually we can just go to background modulation, automatic background extractor. I don't want to go through that giant list there. So automatic background extractor, we're actually going to go down to target image correction and select subtraction. The reason why we're selecting subtraction is because we want to subtract this entire background with this haze. We want to take it away. We don't want to divide it because I don't know why it's in there. I haven't learned that yet, but I'm just going to use subtraction. That's all. That's what I know from the background extraction so far. So I'm going to apply this. I'll eventually learn division in this, what division actually does to the image, what usages it has, but in astrophotography. Alrighty, there we go. As you see, that already looks a ton better. A lot better now. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this background here. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to exit out that. I'm going to go to Final M31. And actually, we can close this out now because we have this new M31. So now what we're going to do with this new M31 is I'm going to go to Process, All Process, and we're going to go to Histogram Transformation. All right, so I'm going to reset this, and I'm going to click Final M31 ABE. This is the actual image. So we're going to take up the midtone slider and take down the black point again. And look at this. Ready? Yeah, here we go. Wait a second. Oh, yeah, look. That's already a lot better. So now we're going to do this again. Maybe we'll zoom in a little bit just so it gives you an idea what the detail is going to be. Yeah, you can see already there's a lot more cloudiness to it. This is good. Reset. Make sure that's reset again. Okay, we're going to take that up. Bring this down like usual just to bring the black point down and get rid of light pollution. And then we're also going to bring that slider. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. So we're going to have to take this down a little bit more and bring this up a little bit more, and then we're going to click apply again. This is a very repetitive process, especially in Photoshop. Same exact thing, very repetitive. Oh yeah, I think that's good for now. I think we pulled out a fair amount of detail for Andromeda. Now I could probably pull a slight bit more in the midtones. Maybe a tiny bit. All right, let's see here. Oh yeah, I think we're good. Okay. So now that we're good on that, what I can do is click Process, All Processes, and we're gonna do something new. So I actually want to dim out this core. As you see, it's way too bright. In order to dim out the core, first we're gonna have to go to the extract the luminance layer. So we want to dim out that core, right? So we're gonna have to do something called masking. We're going to completely eliminate that core. Now I have described this in my one of my previous videos. So here's our luminance. What's that like circle haze? We'll fix that eventually. Actually, I can just probably crop that out, but so yeah, here's the luminance layer. What I'm going to do is drag this little icon over here, drag it until you see a little square next to the box. When you see a square next to your cursor, there you go. And you will see now this red mask once you drop it in. In order to get rid of this red mask, we're actually just going to click mask, show mask, because we don't want to have this on when we do the HDR multi-scale transform. That's what our next process is. So now we're going to actually check make sure deringing is checked, because then you won't have this weird dark ring around your stars. So make sure deringing is checked. Now we're going to do a number of layers. So I'm just going to do this is how it determines how much actually gets taken out. So I'm just going to do like 6 for now at the default. Just try that. See how much better this gets. It'll take a second. It always does. I don't know why this computer's being so slow. Today it's being so slow. Like, I don't know why exactly. Maybe I have like stuff clogged in. I have no idea. Maybe all the downloads. I have no idea. But all right, yeah, I don't know why this is gonna take forever, but I'll just explain some things in the meantime. So this is basically just gonna remove the core. What we're going to do next is we're going to after we remove the core, I am likely going to possibly crop the image, because I really need to crop the image. What else am I gonna do? I think I'm gonna do one more stretch, possibly. I think I'm also going to. Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite features, deconvolution. We're gonna definitely do that. I'll show you that when I get to it, but it's amazing. It works really well. I love deconvolution. It's awesome. It gets things so sharp. Okay, now that we're done with that. Oh wait, it's not done. Oh my gosh, this thing is gonna take forever. All right, I'll let you guys know when it's done. Hold on, I gotta pause the video real quick. All right, guys. So now it's kind of dimmed out a little bit. You can see the core is dimmed out. Sorry, that took forever. Now the core is a little bit more dimmed. So now we're actually going to crop it, as I said. So we're going to start cropping the image. So we're going to say process all processes. I'm going to go down to dynamic crop. Now I'm going to draw a box over this Andromeda, kind of like in Photoshop, like one of the crop tools. Now I'm going to rotate it completely around, because I think this is upside down. So I'm going to look over here on the dynamic crop toolbar. Make sure it says 180 degrees. That's what we want. I could just set it to be 180 right here. I don't even have to do that. Okay, there we go. So now that's 180 degrees. Now I'm going to just click apply or execute. Take a second here. There we go. So now I could zoom in here. Oh yeah, so look how much better this looks already. You can clearly see, sorry my brother's squawking. You can clearly see that there's a lot more detail than there was in the beginning. So what we're going to do now is I want to do maybe one more stretch. So histogram transformation. Histogram transformation here. I am going to click reset, and we're going to bring this midtone slider up. Oh yeah, and this dark point needs to come down too. Oh yeah, see how much more poppy that is? Look at that. The core is a little over brightened still, so we might need to do one more of those. But I mean, it happens when you stretch it. It gets a little more over brightened each time. But I mean, you get the idea. So maybe we don't have to do that. Okay, so you can basically just go do another mask and everything. So now, actually, I think I'm happy with this. But we want to do one more thing that I love to do is it's called deconvolution. So we're gonna go down to deconvolution. Right here. Okay, so deconvolution basically will sharpen everything up, clean up the image. Actually, before we do deconvolution, I forgot to mention we actually have to do a denoising. Well, don't have to, but I choose to because it actually works really good. So I'm going to go to do an ACDNR, which is actually the top function. So now I can click just apply because I like all the default settings. This might take a second. So I'm just going to pause the video so we don't have to wait forever again. Okay, guys, so it is done. As you can see, now it's a little less noisy. You can see actually they look a little sharper already, but it's not sharp enough. So we're going to go to process all processes, and we're going to go to deconvolution, as I said. Close out ACDNR. All right, so now I'm just going to click D-ring again, and I'm just going to apply it because that's all we need to do. Now, watch and wait till you see this. This is going to look hopefully pretty good. Just going to do 10 iterations. Usually you might want to turn it up, but for now I think it's fine because I don't want to wait forever. So, it kind of gets annoying when you have to wait for your computer and you actually want to see your detail. It's kind of annoying, but yeah, no, I have to wait. It means it's worth it. Oh yeah, now look at that. Look how beautiful. See all like how much sharper that is? Yeah, just look how much sharper compared to before. Yeah, it's so much better. So sorry about my birds. So now we actually got the sharp cucumber. That's my bird. Sorry. So now we need to I think we're pretty much good. I think that's pretty much all I want to do. You might want to do like a dynamic background extraction, which takes forever. I'll just give you a quick overview of what it does. So, the dynamic background extraction. Let's see here. You can actually generate samples, which I don't. Okay, first you got to click in the middle here. Then you generate samples to actually filter out light pollution, and you actually turn up tolerance and stuff like that until all the little dots. So I'll give you an example. When I generate the samples here, you see these little samples are here, and you got to generate them in the top. You got to turn tolerance until all the samples reach the very edge, all edges of the frame. Then you look, and here until there's no light pollution or no stars over here, you actually move the samples until there's no stars on top of them from what you see in here, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the whole dynamic background extraction, only because it's really hard to deal with and it takes forever. So I think we've had enough. I think I've had enough impatience for today. All right, so I'm going to close out that. So I think this is good. I mean, it's a decent image. Look how much sharper and cleaner. That's really nice. Now, you can technically dim the core a little more, but that was just a basic overview of some of the tools I like. All right, so that's it for today, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video in clear skies. And let me know if you have any questions or anything, leave them down in the comments below. All right, guys, clear skies.